Okay, guys, so today we're going to learn about the law of cosines. Now, the law of cosines, again, is used for non-right triangles. Okay, and it's used for situations where we know all three sides and know two sides and an included angle. Okay, so when we say included angle, think of, if you remember from Math 2, side angle side, where you know this side, and this angle. Oops. Okay, all three sides is side, side, side. Okay, so the law of cosines actually has quite a few formulas. There are actually 6 of them. Okay, they look like this. Now, the ones on the left are for when you want to find a missing side. The one on the right is for when you want to find a missing angle. Okay, so I give you a chance to look at those. Notice that there's some patterns there to kind of help you remember them. Um, it You can easily memorize these. You don't have to memorize them, but it does make your life go a little faster if you do. Okay, so give you a few moments to look at those, or you can hit pause. Okay, all right, let's try our first example. So we're going to do a word problem after our first kind of basic example. Now remember, these are not right triangles that we're dealing with. So no Pythagoras, no SOHCAHTOA, but you still do know that the angles of the triangle add up to 180. So we're going to do a side angle side situation. And sometimes it does help to draw a kind of dummy triangle just so you know where things live. So let's say this is side A, side B, so this would be side C. So angle C would live right here. Okay? So since we know the three sides, or excuse me, the two sides and the included angle, we're going to find the third side first. So this is the format we're going to use. Now, depending on the calculator that you have, you can actually type this in fully, depending on how complicated and how comfortable you are with your calculator. If you're not that comfortable with your calculator, you probably don't want to type it in all the way. You might want to do some arithmetic work first. So let's see, 2 times that's 30 times 12, that's 360. So it just kind of depends on what you're comfortable with. Okay, remember, order of operations still applies, so you have to do your multiplication first, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and type it in. Make sure you use the cosine button and not the sine button. And I'm just going to write all the digits that I see on my calculator. Now, please notice that this is c squared. So if you want to find the length of side c, you're going to have to find the square root, which we will do right now. So I get 1605. Okay, now since you have more information, you actually have a couple options. Okay, so we need to find angle A and angle B. So in order to do that, we have two choices. We can use law of sines, which is the proportion, or we can use law of cosines again. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and use law of cosines because I just kind of want to show you how it would work. Okay, but if you want to use law of sines, you can totally do that. Please know for both of these choices, you are going to have to use inverse of whatever trig function you decide to use. Okay, so I'm going to find angle A. So we're going to use that. Okay. All right, so we're going to plug everything in. I have to go back and figure out who B and C are. Okay, so 12 and 16.5, or 16.05, and then 12. Okay, so again, oops, confused my A and my B, I think. Oh, A is 15. There we go. All right, so I'm going to do some arithmetic work first. So now again, depending on how comfortable or what type of calculator you have, you might be able to type this whole thing in to your calculator and get out an answer. Up to you. All right, here we go. So if I add the numbers in my numerator, I get 176.6. Okay. And then I'm going to divide that. I get 0.4585 with rounding. Okay, now I'm going to let actually I'm going to write out everything my calculator kicks out. Okay, so now I have to use cosine inverse. Okay. And I get 62.7 degrees. Okay, so now we're back up here, and I know that's 62.7. So now finding that third angle is super straightforward. So what you would do is you would just subtract from 180. So you'd go angle B is equal to 180 minus 62.7 minus 72, and you'd get angle B 45.3. And then you're done. Okay. Again, kind of a long process, but as you get used to it, then it becomes a bit faster. Okay. All right. So in our next video, we will do a word problem that has to do with bearings. Okay. So if you watch the instruction from Edgenuity, I'm sure you heard about north 45 degrees west. So in the next video, we'll go over that.